something like a towel or a yoga block and just set it behind you so that we can be a little bit taller. And that way we're not slouching in our chair like this, because this is really going to hurt what we're trying to accomplish today. Okay, so find your tall seat. Chin is slightly tucked, and we're going to start with some release right into that pec muscle. Okay, nice and deep, getting in here. If you have any questions or comments, I think most people in here have taken the class before, but if you're new and you have any questions or comments, or you're unsure of what's happening, I do look at the chat frequently. So just write it in there and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Okay, so really working in there, which what we're trying to do here is just kind of get some movement and blood flow and separation between the fascial layer and the muscle. So you're getting, it's firm. We want to feel it. We don't want it to be painful, but definitely getting in there into that pec muscle just to make sure that we can get a little bit more movement. The pecs are very dependent on, well, I should say the shoulders are very dependent on how tight the pecs are, because the pecs pull onto the shoulder. And if we're really tight here, it can really limit our shoulder range of motion, and we're going to hit a lot of shoulder today. Okay, and then from there, you can start your way up into subclavicle. So right underneath my collarbone here, you can see this ridge. We want to work right under it. Okay. And this hand is just relaxed at your side. And try and not get so concentrated on this movement that we start to lose that posture and round. Okay, everybody stay nice and tall. Multitask. Okay, getting in there. And just take notice, because we're going to be doing the other side, and sometimes we have a lot of asymmetries, which isn't bad necessarily. It's just the more we're aware of what's happening, we can work with it. Okay, and then we come up into that trap. So we're going to come in. This, I like to do like a seesaw action. So the muscle, you can actually work into the neck, but the trap's kind of coming down right, and then almost out to the shoulder, and then down your back. So you can kind of work right, almost like for women where like a bra strap would lay, and forward and back. And then if you want kind of up in the neck, some of us have a bit tighter up in here. That can feel good. And just seesawing back and forth. Okay, I just use my hand on this elbow to support, so I have a little bit more pressure. And then some of us, if we want to get a little more intense, it's really helpful to do a bit of a pinch. So you can actually grab that muscle and like pinch it away. And this can create a nice little bit of like, almost like a trigger point. Doesn't feel good all the time, but it can actually create a lot more length. So optional, don't have to do it. A few more seconds here. Okay, and then I like to do my favorite right here. I find this really helps with length in the neck. You're gonna pin. So you're just gonna push down with some fingers right on that muscle, and then peel your ear away to the other side, and you should feel a big lengthening in that when that happens. If you don't, try pushing down somewhere else. So pin, and then that muscle, you should feel it lengthening. I found the spot. Okay, so pin and then peel. Good. This can help create length, which is really nice. Someone asked me the other day, well, if this stuff works, why are we doing it every workout? So this stuff works temporarily. This is a really good way to warm up your body, warm up your muscles, and it lasts about 20 minutes. So that's why we do this at the beginning of our workout, so that we can have more length of the muscles, which creates more range of motion in the joint, so that we can get more out of our movement in our session. So tomorrow you're going to be like, oh man, I don't have that same length in my neck. Well, yeah, it doesn't last that long. But the more we do this, and the more we work with that fuller range of motion of the muscle, we're going to start to adapt. Okay, good. Shake that out. Just give yourself a little head tilt and see if you can feel more length on that side than the other side. Just take notice, okay? Other side. So now we're going to do pecs. Right back into it. Okay, and I really, like I always say, to keep this arm relaxed, because a lot of times we tense, and then you're not gonna get into that pec muscle. So even if you just try tensing up, you're gonna feel it get rock hard. So we need to make sure it's relaxed so we can actually get into the muscle there. All right. Who knew even warming up required so much technique and concentration? Okay, and then we're going to come up into subclavicle. So collarbone, right below, come right in. This can do, you can do circles if you like. just right where that meaty section is. And some of us, I didn't say this on the other side, but for those of you that take my class a lot, you can always come out into that anterior shoulder. That feels good. Okay. Awesome. And then we're going to come up into that trap. So I support my elbow. Remember, you can do a seesaw action like this, or you can go into the pinching, whatever you want to do, whatever feels good. Or it doesn't feel good, but you know you need it. Okay, really working in there. And then just take notice, does this side feel different than the other side? Or are they about the same? Some of us have sensation changes on our right and left, so that's something to think about. Okay, and 3, 2, and then we're gonna find that spot. So pin, and then peel your ear the other way this time to the other side, and then up. Good. We're gonna be doing 10 of these. Four. Nice. And 5, make sure so your fingers don't burn out. You're releasing the pin after every head movement. So pin, release, and then release those hands until you come back up. We don't want to start straining those fingers. And good, just a few more here. And 3, nice, good, shake that out. Okay, we're gonna do cat-cow with breath. So I'm gonna be a little more conscientious today of calling out breath for you. So we're gonna inhale and exhale, tuck your chin. And try and exhale the whole way down. Okay, once you get to the ground or to the however far you're gonna go today, you're gonna inhale. And then that takes you up. Slowly rolls up. And then on your exhale, hands behind you, shoulder blades in your back pockets, reach your heart to the ceiling, and then we take another breath. Good, inhale. And moving slowly, exhale. Tuck that chin all the way down. If your breath doesn't exactly match up, that's okay, but I want you to try. Deep breath at the bottom. Inhale. And slowly rolling up. And we exhale. Hands behind you, shoulder blades in your back pockets. Reach your heart to the ceiling. And feel those shoulder blades squeezing together. Deep breath here. And we tuck the chin, rounding in the spine all the way down. Good. Deep breath at the bottom. And coming up. And deep breath here. Exhale. Shoulder blades in your back pockets. Reach your heart to the ceiling. We're going to do one more as a group. Here we go. Deep breath. And exhale down now. All the way. Inhale when you get to the bottom. Slowly roll up. Chin is the last thing to come up. And we let that breath go all the way back. And slowly come back to neutral. Good. We're going to put a twist in here today. So we're going to rotate. I'm putting you on a timer. Grab something like either the rim of your wheel or your armrest or your leg, and you're going to use the leverage of your hands to look over and rotate and look over your shoulders. So no one should be looking at the screen right now. And you're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Okay. If you're twisting so much that you're having trouble breathing, then we need to unwind a little bit. This is just warm up. It's not a contest. Okay. So just an easy rotation. Make sure your eyes are looking back. And slowly unwind that in 3, 2, 1. Good. Slowly unwind. Other side. Okay. Other side. Hands go on the rim of your chair or the armrest or your leg. Rotate and look over your shoulder. You're on the clock. breathing. Three, two, and one. Awesome. Slowly unwinding that. Okay, we're going to take a nice big stretch up right up to the ceiling. So we're going to reach up. You can have your eyes at the ceiling if your neck feels good. Otherwise, you can just keep looking at the monitor. Okay, and then come right back to center like you're going to pull something down from the ceiling. Other side. Notice how I'm leaning. I can like put my elbow down here for support. It can be anything. It can also be like your hand, depending on how far you want to reach. And bring it down. Other side. So reaching up and bring it down. Nice. And other side. Reach and bring it down and up and up. Okay, let's do two more here as a group. Make sure you're still breathing. Try and get that elbow nice and straight. So elbow joint straight as you can. Good. One more rotation. We're going to take the hand over. Not what we normally do here. You're just going to reach to the other side and you're going to sweep across the table and then bring it down. Other side. Rotate and sweep. You're looking at your hand. Other side. Rotate and sweep. And other side. Rotate. My shoulders are away from my ears. And rotate, sweep. Good. Eye to hand coordination. Try it if you don't get dizzy. And over, sweep. Awesome. Half head roll. So we're going to move with our nose, circle, and then look to the other side. Freeze. And circle. And look to the other side. Freeze. Circle. And look. Circle. And look. Look. And two more, everyone. Nice and easy. If you feel grinding in your neck or anything like that, just back off a little bit. We want to keep our necks happy today. Okay, last thing in warm up. Elbows are in. Fingernails are facing outwards, so palms towards each other. We're going to go in. This is a brain teaser. 1, 2. If you have no pain overhead, you're going to go 3. Bring it back. 4. Drop it, and then in. Good. And 1. Flip it. 2. 3. Make sure you're sitting tall or this won't feel good. And down. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and again, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 1, and again, 2, 3. Keep that breath going. We have 3 more as a group. Hang in there. 1, 2. Shoulders are away from the ears the whole time. So this gap right here, this should be really big, right? Between my shoulder and my ear. Even when my hands go up, notice how I still have a gap, right? So we want to think shoulders are poison for your earlobes. We want to keep them down. And up. Nice, everybody. One more. Probably one more than I said, but that's okay. This will be our bonus. Down and in and excellent. Awesome. Okay, let's grab your dowel. We're going to do our first circuit. So we're going to do a hinge pattern, which most of us know. There's a few versions of this depending on what we're working with. So our basic version, which is just kind of in the middle, is using the dowel. So this is for you if you are able to have a tip or like a hinge without falling forward. Okay. If you fall forward, I'll show you your version in a minute. So dowel's pushing in at your chest. I'm just turning a bit sideways so everybody can see what's happening with my spine. Okay, so we're here. Feet are flat on your footrest or your floor, and you're going to push your feet into the floor. You're going to pretend the Queen of England is across the room. We're going to bow to her. So we're going to bow, and we're going to keep the dowel pushing into our chest. So notice how my spine is long. So if I took this, my spine is against the dowel. I'm not rounding like this. See how it pops off? So the spine is long. Okay, so we come here. We're going to hinge, keeping a long spine, pulling that dowel in. Bow to the Queen, and then get nice and tall as you sit back up to where you started. Okay, this is version 1. So we're here, hinge. Okay, believe it or not, this is a huge part of your core muscles. This is getting all those erectors, multifidus, and part of the muscles that run along the spine in the back that help you sit tall. Okay, we're here, boom, in. That's version 1. Version 2 is going to be if you have a tendency to fall forward. You're going to have your hands on your lap, and we're going to slide them forward or walk them forward so that you can get that long spine this way. Okay, and then you can help yourself if you need to by coming back to sit tall. Okay, so for these individuals, really make sure I don't want crawling and then this collapsing. So if anybody can see that difference. So we're pretend like you're showing off a necklace to the other end of the room, and then all the way back up, okay? And keep in mind, I'm showing the biggest version. You don't have to go all the way down. If you don't have that range, that's fine. I just want everyone to see how far it can go. And then for those of you that have a hinge practice and you don't fall forward and this one's feeling quite easy, hands above your head with the dowel, hinge, keep the hands above your head, and then come on up. Okay, that's version 3. So we're here. Okay, and I would recommend for these individuals doing it, your hands should be wide. I don't want them narrow like this, so make sure they're nice and wide. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate here. So pick your version, and here we go. Let's do 10 to 12. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. So we hinge. I'll do 12 to make sure everybody has enough time. And squeeze to come up. This dowel pressing in is the most important part here. That's going to help keep our spine long. And come on up 2. And hinge. Timing is totally up to you. I'm just giving guidelines. Okay, back of the neck super long, so we're never craning the neck to look up. So my eyes just kind of follow, and at the end, I'm kind of looking at the floor. And then as I end up, I'm looking straight ahead when I go back to neutral. Okay, we're about halfway. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Okay, last 4 here. And 3. And 1 more. And awesome, good. Okay, put the dowel aside for a second. You're gonna grab a light band, okay? So whatever band you have, that's gonna be one of the lighter ones. We're gonna be doing single arm external shoulder rotation. So if you have, I didn't actually tell you to get anything like this, so you don't have to go out of your way to go get it. But if you have like your phone or a towel or something, or even a piece of paper, just slide it and hook it right at your elbow, okay? We're gonna hold the band with one hand, and then we're gonna hold it with the other hand at the end like this. So I'm just grabbing. If this isn't possible, then just do palm up, okay? This hand is the anchor hand. I'm just holding it in here. This is the working hand. Without letting this phone come out of my elbow, I'm gonna open up and then bring it back in, okay? So this stationary hand doesn't move. I'm trying to pull open the band and bring it in, okay? So I shouldn't see this. See how the phone dropped? My elbow came away from my body, okay? So use something here if you have it. If you don't, it's okay. Just picture having a little gap right here, okay? And we're gonna do 10 on each side. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Open and bring it in, okay? And what we should be focusing on here is that shoulder blade. So it looks like, but my arm is moving, but actually that movement comes from the shoulder blade. So the shoulder blade on the arm that's moving, I want you to think of it as like moving in towards your spine on your back. So it's gliding almost like a scap squeeze for those of you that have been working with me a while, or you're on the Ocean Insider Club. Scap squeezes, one of the best posture exercises we can do. Great to add into warm up. And again, don't worry, we're going to be doing them later. And 7. Okay, and again, 8. And 9. You might start to feel fatigue in that arm by now. 10, and then relax. Good. Ooh, shake it out. So it's normal to feel the work right here. For any of you that are unsure, you might feel some in the back, and it's totally normal to feel right in here. That's part of the muscle we're hitting. Okay, so now we're going to do the other side. So I'm just balling this up. Okay, if you have any grip concerns, I would recommend for the future having this band looped, and then you can have it around your wrist, right? If that's something that you need to do. Okay, so having something. Oh, let's just make sure that we're all muted. Thank you. Perfect. All right, so we're going to have the elbow in. Hold your little object if you have it, nice and tall, and we're going to externally rotate and then bring it right back in. Okay, and this is one of those exercises where if you don't have a band, don't worry about it. This is a great way to improve your shoulder range of motion. Okay, especially if you use a wheelchair or arm crutches, a walker, anything like that, these muscles are going to be tight. So you might not even need the band. It might be good to just try and get that range. And 7, we all want to work to what's going to benefit us the most. It's not about anyone else. What's good for me might not be awesome for you, and what's awesome for you might not be good for someone else. So we want to work to what is going to benefit us the most as individuals. Okay, last 3. And 2. And 3, and awesome, good. Okay, we're gonna do those again because that's essentially 3 exercises. So our hinges, external shoulder rotation right, external shoulder rotation left. Get a sip of water. Thank you, Nicole. You reminded me we should be drinking water. All right, hinge practice. So same variation that you did before, unless you're feeling good about it and you wanna change it. Maybe it didn't work for you and you want to regress it, that's fine too, okay? I'm going to demonstrate the same, just in the middle, because I think most of us are going to be here. Okay, so feet flat on the floor, nice and tall. Here we go. Queen Elizabeth, she's over there. Pull and we hinge all the way. And then come on up nice and tall. Good. And we're bowing. Long neck. Focusing on your breath. And this is 5. I'm going to demonstrate 12. Do what you can. 10 to 12 would be acceptable here. Feel those shoulder blades slightly squeezing together. And again. And one more. And relax. Awesome. Put the dowel aside. All right, back to your external shoulder rotation. I'm going to start on my left side this time just to switch it up. But if you know that you have a side that's like you just connect with it better and you can feel that it's doing the work a lot better, I recommend starting with that side first so that the other side can mirror. The body's really smart. And if we can do a movement pattern that we like and we know that's what we're trying to achieve, the other side will actually mimic what it's doing. So I would start with your dominant side if you know that there's a crazy difference. If you're not sure, go ahead and switch it up. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Externally rotate and then bring it in. And 2. 10 reps each side. Okay, if you are doing this and we're not on Zoom or in this space, this anchor hand can always be a doorknob. You can just tie the band to a doorknob. That can be a little easier. But this is a really good portable way to do it. And last time. Excellent, everybody. Other side, wrap it, get it ready. Okay, obviously the tighter you have this hand or the closer you grip, the more challenging it's gonna be. So a hint, if we're only getting like this much range, it's too tight. I need to see at least a little bit of like movement, right? Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, 4 more here, breathing. Check your posture. Are we there? Is our chin slightly tucked, head right on top of your C-spine, ribs right over your hips, feet flat? 2 more. And last one. And excellent, good. Okay, we're only doing that twice today. So forget that pattern. And we're gonna go right into your dowel again. So for those of you that did this version with the hands overhead on your tip, your shoulders are gonna start burning as of now. Okay, if you didn't, that's okay, you're gonna be fine. So we're gonna be doing a kayak, but we're gonna add an overhead press. So we're gonna be going rotate. Oh, I'm gonna back my computer up. It's just when I need a hole in my monitor. Okay, so we're gonna rotate and we're gonna rotate, and then you're gonna take the arms and take them up overhead. Tricky part, brain teaser, now we go back the way we came. So I'm actually gonna care about this today. Usually I say, oh, do any pattern you want, doesn't matter. Today it matters, okay? I want you guys to work the brains. So we go left, we go right, and we go up, and then we go back the way we came. Boom, and up. Hopefully I don't mess this up. I will be for sure called out. Okay, I am on a couch, so as you can see, I can't dive deep like this, but I expect all of you to. So if you don't have stuff next to you, instead of cutting it short like this, I want you to think like you're actually in a boat, and I want you to really drive the dowel down. Okay, really rotate, drive the dowel down, and then come on up. Okay, we're gonna do a minute's worth. Woo! Right into it, folks. Here we go. Okay, and 3, 2, and we're on the clock. 1, 2, tempo is up to you. Back the way you came. If you're learning the pattern, I would stick with my tempo for now, just so you can follow along for the first few, and then maybe do it on your own. Just think back the way you came. So overhead, back the way you came. Feet are flat, no wiggle parties in the hips. Breathing. You are already halfway there, believe it or not. Okay, it's okay to go a little slower with these ones, especially if you're working on the pattern, which is what I accentuated for today. 15 seconds. Keep going, use those strong shoulders. And time. Awesome. I hope everybody got that pattern. Very nice. All right, put that aside. We're actually going to use whatever object that you had. So I had the ball. This can be anything. It can be a lightweight. It can be a ball. It can be a pillow, a stuffed animal, whatever you have. Okay. And we're going to do something called paint shakers. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold the object nice and tight. Okay. If it's a dumbbell, if you're using a light dumbbell, I recommend holding the ends instead of like this. Okay. So we're going to come in, shoulders down, tall, and I want you to pretend like your object has a bunch of paint in it. And we're going to shake it up really quick. I want you to shake up the paint. Okay. So if I'm facing sideways, just so you can see, okay, I'm here. My legs would obviously not be looking like this if I was sitting, but we're going to be going, shaking it right out in front. Okay. If this extension of the elbow causes us to fall forward, then we've gone too far. Just go a little bit. Okay. Because I want us to maintain that posture. Okay. This is going to be for 30. So I'm going to let everyone count on their own 30 shakes, and then you get to finish. Okay. Shake the paint. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Nice and tall. And boom, that was my 30. Finish it up if you're still counting. Awesome. Everybody looks like they're done. Cool. All right. We're going to start with just these two. So go back to your dowel. Kayak, kayak overhead, back the way you came. Pain shakers. Just a quick superset, in and out. Okay, this is 1 minute. If there's no questions or concerns, we're going to get right to it. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Boom, boom, back the way you came. Okay, nice and tall. No one should be leaning forward. We're trying to maintain that tall posture on this one today. Ears away from your shoulders, shoulders away from your ears. You are already halfway, folks. Keep moving. If you have the pattern and it feels good, speed it up. Less than 15. Got about 5. Keep going. 2. Ooh, I messed that up. 1. And time. Awesome. All right. Go ahead and grab your paint shaking object. 30 reps. Here we go. In 3. It should be chest height, by the way. 2, 1, and go. Count for yourself. Everybody's going to be different. Boom. Keep going, keep going. And when everyone hits 30, awesome, good. One more round. 3 rounds today. Get a sip of water. If you're getting warm, open windows, whatever you need to do. A lot of shoulder in this one. All right, are we ready? Here we go. So kayak, kayak overhead, back the way we came. Last time today, I promise. 3, 2, and go. So like I said before, if the pattern is awesome and you're nailing it, pick up the pace. Think of what your trunk's doing. Are we collapsing in the trunk? Are we staying tall? That's a hint that we should be. You're already over halfway. Hang in there, everyone. We can do it. This will be your last time with this today. Think of rotating through the belly button, so right through the trunk. Five. And time. Beautiful. All right, dowel aside. Last time with your paint shakers. Okay, are we ready? Chest height. Roll those shoulders back to start. 3, 2, tuck that chin slightly. 1, go. Count to 30. Boom. When you're done, you can stop. Keep going. Keep going. Awesome. Good. Very nice, everyone. All right. Little sip of water, new circuit. Questions, comments, anything like that? Now's the chance while we're on a little transition here. Otherwise, we're going to keep moving. All right, so this next one, I'm actually going to give an option just because sometimes, depending on how our shoulders are, the band might not feel awesome. So I'll give 2 options for this. So the movement of this, I don't know, most of us are probably at the age where we've seen Staying Alive, John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever. Cool. So everybody knows that move. So we're going to be doing that move. Okay. So here, and you're going to think of up. So it's almost like you're pulling something out of your pocket and then down. So my elbow bends, we go up and we go down. So staying alive, right? So we're going to do that with a band. This is option 1. Okay. You don't have to do this. Band is going to get scrunched at your hip. Other hand's going to hold the band, and we're going to pull it across, bring it back down. We call these sword pulls. But I think I'll change the name to staying alive because I like that better. Okay, so we go up. This is version 1. Okay, if you don't like that or that doesn't feel good, there's 2 other options. You can do your light object and do it like this, which just gives a little more grace for the shoulder because you can control the line. If that doesn't work, then you can just do it with nothing. Okay, and it's still beneficial. I don't want anyone to think this isn't doing anything. This is a really great way to open up that chest, to get that shoulder blade gliding down your back. Okay, so band, lightweight object, or nothing. Okay, we're going to do 10 to 12 on each side, and then we're going to switch. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and up. So even though this looks like it's like a lot of front body, it looks like we're actually working the posterior part of the shoulder. Okay. So you might start to feel fatigue in the back. And like I said before, if you are using a band, I highly recommend a light one, which would be like a yellow or a red if you have the Disability Foundation bands. Breathing, staying alive. You can put some disco on when you do this on your own. Motivate yourself a little bit. Last 2. Okay, like I said, numbers up to you. I'm just kind of guiding with about 12. Okay, awesome. Switching sides when you're done. Okay, and be generous with yourself. If you find that you have like more strength or it feels better on one side, don't worry about tightening up the band that much on the other side. Just work to what you have going on that side. It's okay if we're not even for this. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and we pull. And good. Okay, and a hint, this is going to feel better the taller we are. So the more you lift through your chest, the longer we make our spine, the better this will feel. As in, we'll have way more range for the shoulder to go up. Breathing.